Good morning.
Sorry, I'm hoping only VirtualBox.
You go and download stuff.
Which machine? Virtual machine.
It must not be. I'm using both. I'm going to introduce you to both.
Which is VMware and VirtualBox.
Mm. All right, so please let's proceed. Have you gone live? For those of us that have downloaded VMware, so start installing your VMware in the Dropbox. If you've installed, kindly again. I've installed my VMware and my Dropbox. Okay, so those of us that are here, so kindly do that. Yes. Sir? Please let's be quiet and let's listen to him. Yes, you're learning. You have to. The most popular is VirtualBox and VMware, so you're going to make references. So which have you installed? Okay. Okay, I guess the previous practical you had was with VirtualBox, right? Okay. Then this time let's work with virtual VMware. You're learning, or we should still do with the VirtualBox. Yes. Yes. He's saying if they are performing same function, he's saying we should use the one we already have. For me, I like being inquisitive. I'm used to A, also get used to B. Why? When you go out there, you're considered an expert, a professional. You're expected to know variety. You are not to decide for your client or whoever you may consulting or working for which environment you use. True or false? So you are the one to decide. They are the one to decide what they have, and you don't have the choice. You're expected to know it. So you have known VirtualBox, good and fine. Also get your point where you need VMware. Is that fine? Yes. I'm comfortable working with anyone. Why? I'm exposed myself to all of them. Sometimes there are some practical or tasks you may want to carry out, and you realize that you're doing it faster with VirtualBox. So it might be VMware. So in that case, remember, timeliness in every project delivery is important. So you have to go with the one that works. When we are used to just one, which is the VirtualBox, you need to have it at it working with VMware. So that is all VMware. Thank you. That was the next ability I'm going to get. Did I use the word or? This is my VirtualBox. Is this not your VirtualBox? This is your VirtualBox now. Your installation process is similar. You either install using this or install using that. So if you ready to this already, move on to the next one. We are going to learn. If you learn multiplication, what do you learn addition? All right, so let's go. So basically, the steps are similar. Have you gone live? Oh, okay. So basically, the steps are similar, right? As much as possible, let me give a breakdown of what we want to do and why we're learning this. In information security, beyond all of the stories, please one house. We need to know like aware of clearly, and if you are communicating, they may not be able to hear us effectively. So please, while the conversation is ongoing, you can be doing your installation, right? So in information security, what's the most important thing? To use the story line, you need to be able to implement barrier to practical. You need to be able to engage with whatever you're saying, right? We've talked about setting up operating systems. We've done operating system security. We've done cyber security. We've done information security and all of that. Now, how do we put it to use? How do we practicalize it? You cannot. How do you make two systems to communicate with themselves together? So the ability to bring them together in a network environment that is in real time simulating what is visible. Take for example, you are the chief information security officer for Base University. Base University is wide, right? And what makes up the difference is just the fact that there are buildings everywhere. With different structures, different sizes, different designs, different makes. Is not what?
It's not the same thing.
This is what is true.
Because you have to share the entire screen. And even the sound.
Okay. We have a piece with HDMI here. That flash drive, yes, is it there? Your PC has HDMI. It has HDMI. Okay, let's use that. Why didn't you download them? I'm going to have issues with this online participant, offline participant.
Okay. Leave it that way.
Time is for the spirit. I understand. I can't. Okay, let me do something. All right. When you're done setting up, let me know. One house, please. One house, please. One house, please. So because of time, I believe we've installed the VMware, right? We've installed the VMware. Hello. Please, everyone, let's get started. All right. So I believe we've installed the VMware and the VirtualBox. We all know how to install operating systems on this environment, right? We all know how to do that. Have we done it before? Okay, not all. Now, by way of starting, when you're doing any installation, you click on this is your virtual environment, right? This might be VMware for VirtualBox. This is my VirtualBox. The VirtualBox is simply you just simply either add or create. For most times, you can add. If you're using the option of add, it means you've downloaded a file already, your ISO file or whichever file you've downloaded, and maybe you've downloaded your file already. That's it, you're adding. There's option for adding, there's option for creating. If you're adding, it means you've downloaded a VirtualBox file already that has been packaged into either .zip file or whatever. If you go to Kali Linux environment and you want to download, they'll ask you, is it for virtual environment you want to download, or you want to download an IC file? Are we together? If you pick for virtual environment, it will go further to separate is it for VBox or VMware. So you download depending on the virtual environment you're running, which can either be VirtualBox or VMware. So in this case, for my VMware, I already have a file. This is Santoku. Santoku is an operating system for forensics. So I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to create I'm just using it for this particular explanation. So I already have it downloaded and it's a VirtualBox file. Are we together? So if I'm adding, I'm simply selecting this file because it's already installed. This is an already installed version. So if I click on this, it will simply load it on my VBox for me. But if I'm creating, if I'm using this option of create, and it means I have an ISO file, it's the raw operating system, that I want to install from scratch. So I'll follow the entire procedure of selecting the RAM size, the storage size, and all of that. Are we together? So for this particular one, you can use the option of add and create. I'm sure we understand this too now. Now, for VMware, you either have the option of now open or create. In VBox, it is adding, in VMware, it is opening. You understand the difference now? So this is just the little differences. Sometimes it's in terms of technology, sometimes it's an area or places where you do modification to your maybe configuration. So we are all conversant from what you said. We are all conversant with VirtualBox already because that's what you used the last time, right? So in VMware, you either create or you add. If you are not adding, you even have the option of connecting to a remote server, which is still also available here. So let's minimize this and go to like the option of create. From my create option, I've selected a file, Windows Server 2003. It's an ISO file. If I had it installed already in a virtual machine file, I'll just use the option of opening. But I don't have it installed, so I'm using the option of what? Create. So creating, I've selected the location for where I want it to be. Remember, there's installer disk. That if you have a disk, you know these days laptops no longer come with your disk, right? So you just do the ISO file, provided you've downloaded it ahead of time, which in this case I've downloaded, and I've selected the file, which is Enterprise Windows Server 2003 volume whatever .iso. So when you select it, you simply go on next. Now, if it asks you, is it a Linux, is it a Windows file, is it a Linux, VM, ESXi, or other? For this case, it's a Windows file, right? So we select Windows, and is it Windows 10 or later? Is it Windows 10? No. We are installing Windows Server 2003 Enterprise Edition. So we can select this, and we'll move to next. Next. Now, if you ask you what storage size do you want to assign to it, in my case, 40 gig, which is recommended. You can do 60 gig depending on the kind of files you want to use your server for. Okay, so here it is where you select. And also remember, it also depends on the size of your physical host. This guy here is my physical host. Yours, if you have up to 2 terabytes, 1 TB, 500 gig, that's what you use it to determine this. And of course, again, what kind of files will you be using to process? So we'll just do 40 gig and we'll move on. You either select this option or this. Then the next phase is this is what's giving you. It's going to run on 10 MB. Your RAM, your memory will be 10 MB. Is it what we want to work with? In my case, 10 MB, 1 MB rather, 1 MB, 1 gig right. This is 1 GB. 1 gig RAM will be too slow for us. So I would rather customize it. In customizing it, that's where you have the option of increasing your RAM size from 1 gig. For me, I can raise it to 4 gig, 2 gig, 8 gig as the case may be. That is also dependent on your physical RAM. For example, my PC is 16 gig RAM. So I can play around up to 12 gig RAM, 8 gig RAM. But also remember, the more virtual operating systems you'll be running, that will also determine what you can run per time. Meaning, since I have 16 gig RAM, I can start to run on, let's say, 2 gig RAM up to 4 VMs running to 2 gig RAM. The 4 combined together will be using just 8 of my 16. Meaning my physical host will still be working fine. Why? All the VMs are running to 2 gig. So if I raise them to 4 gig, how many can I play around with? In most cases, you can still decide to exceed your actual. Now, this is telling me this is what I have on my physical host. This is what I'm selecting the VM environment I'm picking. So sometimes you can go as far as going beyond what your physical base can take. The only thing is to be lagging. So when you select that, in our case, let's do 4 gig. And I will, you've added, increase the memory. Do you want to increase the processor? If yes, you can also customize your processor to whatever processor speed you want. But because what we are installing for the sake of this class is Windows Server 2003, it's just for practice purpose, not we are not running any heavy thing on it. So we can make do with what it's there. On a non, the 2 gig RAM is still fine, but let's proceed. So if you have other things you want to add, you can try to add them and all of that. But of course, the virtual environment, so we don't need all of that. So I'm going to close this. It has gone to the 4 gig RAM we've selected, and I simply click on next to finish. So once you click that, you start installing the operating system we've just selected. And once it's done installing, it has appeared on this part. From here now, I can power it on. I'm sure the entire process is similar to what you're used to in the VirtualBox, right? Now, that is, we've conquered the first stage here. A lot of us think we are used to VirtualBox already, going to VMware, going to VR. We see that they are similar. So don't always be scared of exploring new stuff, new applications, new solutions, new tools. Take it out. There's something I always tell myself, for the fact that this is my industry, whatever is coming up that I need to know, whatever I can take, I want to go for it. Do you understand? No knowledge in reality is waste. So press blah 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 English A server enterprise edition. So the setup will continue. You run through your setup and you have your Windows running. I want to get that. So if you follow through this process, that's the same way you will install your Windows, same way you install your Kali, same way you install whatever you want to install. Are we good? So in reality, you will successfully end up setting up, let's say, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems. In other words, if you really want to do operating system security on a network, let's say every one of us, we are split around the entire base premises in different buildings. That is the network we're talking about. Connected to one network. They have one IP address or different subnet, and they can communicate with each other. That is a real network, right? So what we're trying to do now with our hacking lab is simulating what is visible in a real network. So by that, if your PC is strong enough and you have up to 15 virtual operating systems that are running and they are all communicating with themselves, running different operating systems, have you not simulated what is happening here? Some of us were using Windows, some were using Linux, and all of that. The first goal of having multiple operating systems on your network has been achieved. Next goal is how can you make them to communicate with themselves? Until they are communicating, until there's communication, nothing is really happening. So it's either they are communicating with themselves on same network, or they are all connected to the internet and they can all browse. So first, let's make them to connect to each other. Next, how can we make them to connect to internet? Are we together? So, one of us, anybody connect to this network here, connect to it. So we are on the same network and we can ping each other. Working with my own VM, let me just see if I can pull up some other matches while this is installing. Green. Who can tell us what just happened? Anybody? Most of the keys are not. There's nothing we can do. People said I should come physically. Have you done live with this? This one is live. No more this. Is this was trend on live for live participants? This was the RAM of this PC. Why would that be? Why not? How would that be? Really? Yes, if you have your inventory, it's better. How many people?
I didn't check it. Goes for
Oh, yeah, bring that.
but I'm sure it-
So you can share your screen from here. Oh yeah, now share on the this thing. I hope we did get extra time a bit. How many extra?
Let me just connect it.
Okay. So back to what we were saying. We'll go through the entire process again, right? Now, online persons can stay here.
Yes.
Okay, so as I was saying, the first level of setting up your VM is successful. You've created, first you've done your VM installation. Either the VM or VMware or VirtualBox. You've installed, that is level one. The next level is bringing operating systems to your virtual environment. Remember the virtual operating systems, right? So you can bring them in. In reality, if you have a malware, for example, there are persons who will tell you they are scared of viruses, they are scared of malware. Personally, I'm not. And I will recommend you to also get to that level. So if you have a virus, you know too well that this is a virus. You know what I do? I don't do it, and I move it to my virtual environment. If I paste it there, I can run it, and in fact, I will watch how it will, affect my files, it will play with my files and all that. Why? It's working in a controlled environment, which is most important. Meaning, if whatever happens to that operating system because it's virtualized, I can easily delete it and reinstall another one. So you get to that stage here, if someone sends you an email attachment, personally, this is what I do. If you send me an email attachment, sometimes I know this is malicious. Sometimes you have the virus to pop up to you that this file is infected and all of that. Personally, I will download that file, move it to my virtual environment to do my analysis. Why? I want to learn about it. That way, if I come across any of this, I can easily tell you one or two about it. So that makes sense. So, yes, sir.
Sorry, if you fix the like plant references,
Yes.
which of them is the first point of call you to pop into your channel?
First point of call. It depends on what you configure. If I plug an external flash drive to my PC, it will notify me where do I want to connect it to. Is it my physical host or my virtual environment? So in the virtual environment, it will list all the virtual machines I have that are actively running. Do you understand? So you now select which virtual environment, which of the VM operating system you want to connect. Once you connect, you get into that one. Then you can also disconnect from the virtual machine and connect to the physical host. We'll go through it. We'll go through it. So is this on screen now?
What do you want to share? I want to share the entire screen.
Share entire screen. Don't worry, I'll pick it up from there. Has it gone live?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can disconnect this guy. No, you can carry it now. Thanks so much. How do you bring it up on this screen so they see what I'm doing?
Yes, sir. Minimize it.
Yes, ma'am. Sean is there. So, level 1 accomplished. Level 2, you bring in your different virtual machines, and your virtual machines replicate or simulate different users on your network. Let's say admin, finance, security, command and control, whatever. Those are the different VMs. So as you're installing your VMs, you're naming them accordingly. So in other words, you can set up a full functioning organization. Account department, you name, let's say they are using the Windows machine. You name it, you install the Windows version, you name it account. And whatever applications running on it, you enable, right? Then let's say command and control or IT or whatever, let's say they are running a Linux environment, you put it there. Or you want to do your test running, let's say an attacker and a victim. Your Windows can be attacker, can be a victim, your attacker can be a Linux environment, either Kali or Ubuntu or Parrot. These are different operating systems for hacking with pre-installed hacking tools. So the next goal is how can you ensure that all of these systems that are same network can communicate with themselves. We've not gone wireless, we are still within same network. When we get to wireless, we now begin to introduce other tools that will enable us to communicate wirelessly. So for now, the starting point is having a local network. So assuming we are all here and we are using cable and a switch, we all know what switch is. Switches and Ethernet cables, right? We now use that to connect all of our pieces. It means we can communicate locally. So it's that first level we are trying to replicate here. By installing as many operating systems as possible. So in this case, I'm installing my VMware here. So while this is installing, when you move from when devices for your network are communicating themselves, servers, routers, switches, wireless, wired, when they can all communicate locally, you now begin to think of how can we connect to the internet. That's where internet connection comes in. Then beyond the internet connection, because here we are in the same building, in the same room, we can afford to use cable to go around. But the moment there's another building in the next block, the next office, the next room, we now have to, there's not a need to go wireless. The organizations, the entire building is wired. For security reasons, they don't want to deal with people who will come in using wireless attack to launch attacks, so they purely go wireless. When you get to the point of wireless attacks, now begin to introduce some gadgets, which, because of the class, we're going to be looking at them. Yes. We're not going to advance to wireless in the manner of the yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please be louder, one house.
We said something like that, as we are now, using the same switch like the same place. All of us are what of the other, we have another department. And we use subnet.
That's where your segmentation comes in. That's where your wireless connectivity comes in. If you want to proceed using wireless, then you may decide that no matter how long you stretch cable, it's still good and fine. But if you want to go wireless, all you just need to do is deploy the wireless access point. With the wireless access point, the access point is connecting to your switch or your router, which is now broadcasting, meaning anybody from the other side that connects to it will have access to same IP address because it's now connecting through one router. Yes, sir.
So is it possible now to look at the demonstrators to begin?
No, the VM is like, let's say the VM to be a LAN. Right? You want to build a house, and your house is a different operating system. So if you're downloading your Kali Linux, there are two versions like I said. because you were trying to install the other time. And you fire them up, you run all of them. After running all of them, depending on their speed, everything will work optimally. And you can then begin to. Next will now be ensuring or trying to connect, let's say, your virtual machine A to that of B. And in this case, if you are on the same network, one person should connect to this network. If you connect to the network, we'll get to that point. Bring our title for you. Thanks. Someone that installed the VM already. So you will not tell me yes, it's not working or when it's not working.
This
Okay, so we're back to where we were, right? Yes. Finish this. So let's do something. So VM, let's download this one. I should download for us. So that should finish soon. Let's. Remind me later. Create. So here you select, remember where we were before. So we'll come in here, we select our ISO file. Remember I've downloaded an ISO file before. So I'll simply use that ISO file and Windows Server 2003. I'll select it, then go next. It's Windows. We select the version. We've gone through this before.
Yes.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
This Windows server that you're working with, this is the same thing with Windows operating system.
Yeah, it's a Windows operating system. It's an operating system. So one house. Please let's follow. I have a Kali that I've downloaded, so I'll simply extract it. New folder. I want to extract it to a different location because let me extract it to desktop. If you're installing this, it's same prompt that come up. What did I type? Okay, what came on screen? There are two options. Option A, option B, and I selected option A. Just type in A, hit enter, to proceed. So in most cases, if you're doing the installation yourself, it's best to read the options that are coming up so you know the decision you're taking. Enter to continue. So just hit enter. Installation will proceed. So while that is proceeding, let's check what we are downloading. Okay, so another thing I need to bring to our notice now, this is your mouse. If you click here, it will move into your virtual environment. And in most cases, if you are looking for it, you won't see it. It's in there. So how do you bring it out to your physical host? You use your control alternate. It's a key combination. Once you do that, you come to your physical host. It's still happening there, then our file. it's scrolling. But once this extraction is complete, this file that we are downloading is what I'm extracting. So once the extraction is complete, we'll just load it from here. So by then, our window file should be ready. So automatically, we've gotten Windows and we've gotten Kali. Any questions so far? Yes. This is Windows Server 2003. You can install Windows XP, you can install Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows 11. In fact, I have Windows 11 downloaded here too. So while this is installing, let's proceed to be installing another Windows by simply coming here and home, create a new VM. Same procedure, same procedure. You select ISO because it's the ISO file I have. I have Windows 11 here. Next, Windows. This is no longer 2003. So you select the version, Windows 10 or later. So in this case, I'll rename this to Windows 11. Next, 60 gig. Next, 2 gig RAM. We can still, what's the RAM of this 16? Okay, so we can still raise it to 4 gig. Close, finish. So if we observe, in here now we have Windows Server 2003, we have Windows 11. Yes, I'm with you. So
When you're picking your RAM, are you considering RAM for VBox or just VMware?
now, VBox is a different environment. VMware is a different environment. If you are in a case where you are running both VBox and VMware, then you have to make the two considerations in relation to the physical host. But for the sake of this class, we are using VMware. So everything we are running, we are only considering what the RAM sizes we are picking in relation to the physical host. Yes, sir.
This one, and then you're going to install what's the difference between image file and ISO file?
Image file and ISO file. Image file is your ISO. Is the ISO you use to you do your bootable file or your bootable file? Yes. That's what we're using now. We're using ISO file. ISO file is the image. So here I'll power on my Windows 11. Let's check 2003. It's still installing. 11 is coming up. Then let's check our instruction. It's complete. So we can close this guy and network timeout. Why is network timing out? So coming back home, let's open. This time we are no longer creating. We are using the option of open because we already have a file. I think we did that on desktop. So this is it. I open. It will also automatically add here. You see that the procedure is different. Yeah. So whatever installation you're doing, depending on the environment you're working on, this has to come out. Then you click on power on. So straight, this one has been installed. It's pre-installed file you downloaded. So it will open up straight. Our Windows 11 is giving us error, so we'll have to check the configuration file. So this is already loading Windows. Your computer will reboot. Okay, this is done installing. It will reboot to continue. So let's check what's happening here. Windows 11. VMware is using the default boot order. Enter setup. Use this setup for What's the update with yours? Product kit. Is your Windows up now? Which system is up? Which virtual system do you have operating? None? Anyone? VBox, VMware. Okay, so this is our Linux environment, the Kali Linux. If you have a VBox here, you can connect. Let's connect this VBox to your own system. Okay, what's the IP address of your own PC? This is your network. Yes, your physical host. How do you? Okay. One house. Let me take us through that. Let me take us through that. Let me take us through that. So first of all, one house place. All right. So first of all, what's most important is one, we've been able to put up our environment. Next, we've been able to install different operating systems, right? We have Windows running, we have Kali running, and next, we want to make them to communicate with each other. So if you're in an organization, how can you make your system to connect with one another? So that's what we want to focus on. You can either go wired, like I mentioned earlier, or you go wireless. The wireless option, depending on what you have on your system, you can have Wi-Fi adapters. For example, this is a Wi-Fi adapter. Although this is different from your regular Wi-Fi adapter. This is a long-range Wi-Fi adapter, meaning it can connect to access point from a further distance. So access point, if we are here now, let's say there is an access point far away, your PC cannot see the network. If I'm using this, I'll see that because it's a long-range access point. So now, if you set up your VM, there are different options under networking. So let me close this aspect and return to where I introduced it from. So first off, I've checked my IP address. I have an IP address of then I've pinged Google to be sure that yes, this Linux environment is connected to the internet, which of course, yes, it's connected. Let me put this on full screen. So next is, I want to find out which network is it connected to. There are two ways. Your VM can be connected to the internet through your host network, your physical host network. Meaning, if my physical IP address here is 192.168 dot whatever, and I'm connecting to the internet on my VM, altogether, using my host network, whatever I do on this VM, it will read on the log that is this IP address that is doing it. Because I don't want it to share same IP address with my PC, I will connect my VM directly to the network. That way, the network will see the VM as a separate computer on its own. Do you understand? It will see IP address directly from your router, directly from whatever source. So in this case, I'm going to connect directly to the network. So to do that, there's an option here. Let me leave full screen. In your VM, it's same thing. In your VM, there's a tiny button here under network. So when I click on it, I'll go to setting. Now on my setting, what is showing is under network adapter, there's bridge that is connect directly to the physical network. So if I use this option, it will connect my VM to the physical network. So the physical network will see my VM as a separate computer, not tied from mine. Meaning the IP address my IP has picked from the router, this one will also pick its own IP address directly. Currently, the current setup we have is use shared host IP address, meaning I'm using my host IP address. So whatever log my SIM solution on the physical network is reading, to be reading that IP address that's performing whichever task I have in here altogether. So if you are doing anything in your office, in your organization, from your VM, if you don't check this, it can be tracked and traced back to you as the source. There are different levels to it, anyways.
Is there anything called share ports?
Huh?
Share ports.
Shared port.
Yeah. The source of maybe something of this place and other things, maybe this place and share with others. We call it a port.
No, you can share network resources. You can share We can even do IP address masking, reading, and all of that. Port has to do with services running on a particular operating system. So there's NAT, there's host only, there's custom. I will explain. If you're using NAT, use share. In this case, you're using your host IP address, right? If you're using host only, it means that I have one VM here, Windows, I have Kali, I have Windows 2003, I have Kali, and I have Windows 11, 3 VMs, right? I don't want them to be on my physical network because that is why it's called a controlled environment, a hacking lab. I don't want whatever happens on that network to reflect on the physical network. One, neither do I want it to affect my own physical host. Because if there's a network attack, it is happening within that network. If it's connected to my PC will also get involved. So I will come and use this option of host only, a private network shared with the host. So in this case, the host will create a private network, and all the VMs will be working and connected within that network. So if you are doing your own lab setup, you are recommended to use this option so that whatever you do, you are not compromising other persons that may be connected to your physical network. I will get that. So that is clear. Then it's possible that you may have a VPN configuration in your environment. That's where you now implement you now choose this option of custom specific virtual network. Optionally, you can either use Bridge to connect directly to the network, or you use your shared host network, or you create a network within your host and your VM, so that whatever you do within that network, you are not compromising other users. Okay. Next is, so I'm moving it now to connect straight to the physical host, which is the bridge. Now, in this bridge, you can choose to replicate the physical network state. Meaning, on this PC, I've keyed in my username and password to the access point, right? I've connected to it. And what's happening? I can connect using it. It's also tied to the host. But in this case, let's try connecting directly without replicating the network state of the host. So I'll say OK here. When you OK it, if you ping google.com, let's give it a try to see whether we are still connected. It's connected. So I'll terminate it, then let's check our IP address. It's connecting on 192.168.1.131. So what's your own IP address? With this, if you are on this network, I can ping your PC. We only have one person or two persons connected. Anybody connected to this network from here? No. Okay, someone else should connect since they are not responding to us. Yes. Okay, let me start the password for you. What's the challenge? It's nothing connect. Okay, give me your physical contact address, please. Any other person? So ping that Kali. Yes. Are you like Go to the guest. Yes. Okay, so they have data box here. Okay, so if I do that, some of us, you may not be able to see this. Some of us were asking, I changed my network configuration here, and because I'm using VMware, it's not that different from what you have on your virtual box. So this is virtual box, and the option is still there. When you look to the extreme lower button, around this part where I did the configuration, right? If you on your how many of us are having the virtual box installed here? So if you look at the extreme lower part of your setting, you will see that option. At that time, still at about same area. Have you seen it? Any of us? So whatever you have on your VMware is the same thing you have on your virtual box. There are just little disparity or differences. It's just having two same service provider with little features, differences, and all of that. Aside that, they function same way. Are we together? So whatever you have running on your Kali, assuming you have, for example, this PC is running on VirtualBox. Mine is running on VMware. My Kali is on VMware. His Kali is on VirtualBox. And I've been able to ping from this VirtualBox to my Kali running on VMware. Do you understand? So same way, if you have a Windows environment or any system here, in as much as you're on the same network, I can ping from my virtual environment to your physical host, to your virtual host. So with that, you have successfully connected your devices. I think we are all on the same page now. You can successfully set up your own hacking lab by, first of all, installing your virtualization environment, which can be VMware or VirtualBox. Next, you install your operating systems. It can be Windows, it can be Linux, it can be whichever distro. Next is you connect and ensure that all of your operating systems can communicate with each other. They are on the same network and they have IP addresses that can communicate with each other. Next, you can be able to ping Google, meaning your connectivity is connected to the internet. Your devices, the network is connected to the internet. Are we together? So, in most cases, like I will always say, if I have an email, if I receive an email that I perceive to be malicious, all I simply do is I bring it to my Windows environment, which can be the Windows 11, whichever Windows, the virtual environment, remember, not your physical host. And I install it there, and I test run it there. If you run it, if it's playing out some funny things, maybe malfunctioning, trying to enable camera, mouse malfunction, and all of that, you will be able to detect it. Then you can carry out your analysis on it if that's what you want to do. Are we on the same page? Any question? The higher you it is not because you are not connected. Be connected. This is his PC.
You are connected to yes, in the presence of connecting, you just some places. You just I think that's question to
Ask your question.
From here.
See, please, before you ask your question, one thing we must understand is when it comes to practical class, if you are not doing it yourself, you will be lost. True or false? One, I decided not to use my own PC because I have most of the configurations running on my PC already. So it won't be like it's because it's working already on my PC. So upon arrival, we are using another person's PC, and I'm sure we're doing all of the installations, right? And this is VMware. To tell you VMware and VirtualBox work together, this particular one is running on VirtualBox. And these two pieces are already communicated. So you can make this your attacker, you can put your Windows, whichever Windows environment to be your victim. So you can launch attack from your Kali Linux to this environment. But you need to understand the state of your attacks. Yes, sir.
Okay. I think maybe some basic concept just question.
Yeah.
When you check ping, what do you mean? Or can you do it from this one?
That is what I ping from here to my PC.
I saw you. Yeah.
So what do you mean by
Please.
Can you just continue?
All right, sorry.
Sir, with the lens out, maybe can you the lens video when you can just upload it on YouTube channel so that everybody can see. I think okay.
One house. No, I don't know myself. Okay, one house. But let's listen up, please. Let's listen up. That was why I gave this information ahead of time. Make these downloads. No, you can hold it. We'll ping to yours. Make these downloads. Check your IP address and give us the number. We'll ping from here. Make these downloads. Install them. Ideally, I told you last week that was your take-home assignment, right? So I expected you to have gone to do that research. How can I download? How can I install? How can I make it working? So that when we come here, it's easier for every one of us to understand. If you have issues, I've tried to this point, this is where I got stuck, and I can explain for you. But we coming here, we are not downloading. Someone was even asking me today that what are we to download? So if you guys to tell us that it means we are going to be doing a lot of explaining. Say for example, we all cannot grab on same speed, right? One person has connected, he has installed and it's working. Another person has connected to a certain level. Some of us they've never done anything. So please, if I give you a take-home assignment, it's for you to go and do your research. As you're doing research, if you come across any challenge, you bring it to solve it. Some of us were able asking me, what am I doing? They were sending me private messages. I don't see that. Yes, I am. Okay, pinging is just checking for live devices or nodes for your network. So if I say ping, you can ping Google. Google is a website, right? It's a web URL. You can ping whether that server is up or not. And you do that by simply So one house, let's look at this. Let me zoom in so that we all can see clearly. This is your keyboard view, edit. Is it clearer? Is it bigger? This keyboard has some funny characters, so view. Let me use this. Zoom in.
What's this?
Here's your plus. Can we all see now? Okay, so to ping, you just type ping, you put your URL, google.com, and you hit enter. Now, this is telling us that it's sending packets and it's receiving. So currently we are pinging Google. Google is responding. Are we together? We are pinging Google. With this result, it's telling us that yes, Google server is up and running. You can ping any server. So a lot of times, if you are in network, if you're into web or whatever, they tell you our website is down, it's not connected. You can come to your Linux environment and you ping the server. Just simply put ping, ping, you put in the URL. Or if it's a PC, what is the IP address of the PC? You ping it. What is your own IP address? So let's check. 192.
192.168.
Dot
1.179.
179. Like this, enter. So if it's connected, it will ping. If it's not connected, it will return an error. It's not connected. Yes, please call yours. Because it's not responding. If it's responding, we'll have. Call yours, sir. Yes, call yours. Sir? 192.
Yeah,
103, but you called 179. 103. Your host is unreachable. Please check your connection. Ring it. Sir? You can ping mine. One 192 112. Are we all on the same page?
So I can call my IP address.
Yes, in mine. Mine is 190, 160, 131. That's 131. It's responding. So in reality, whatever practical you're doing, if you're not following, you will likely miss out. Okay? So it's very, very important. If you're getting an assignment, I bet, do it. Download it so that when you come to class, you can easily flow. A good number of us, this is the first time we are hearing some of these terms. True, of course. True. So it shouldn't, not supposed to be.
I want to ask a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So a lot of us are doing this process that we are doing now. Is it to prevent hackers or to stabilize this?
All right, one house. She's asking the question that what we are doing currently, is it to prevent hackers or to safeguard the system? First of all, it's important for everyone of us to note that you cannot secure when you have no idea. So we first of all need to understand what our network is like. One house, please. No. We join the class. Time has gone. So let's be quiet. Let's be quiet, please. One house. Let's get it. In information security, you cannot protect what you have no idea of. That is why we always said that the hackers are a step ahead. So for you to protect against attackers, you must understand how to secure your system. So currently what we are doing is learning and understanding how the operating system and network connectivity works. Right? So if you understand how different operating systems or different users on the network communicate with each other, you'll be able to identify areas you can implement security policies or strengthen your defenses. Rather than just acting and whatever comes, whatever will happen. So as much as possible, understand the network infrastructure. How are the operating systems on your network communicating with each other? Through what medium or channel of communications? What operating system are you running on? What is it vulnerable to? If you understand what your operating system is vulnerable to, you'll be able to safeguard it, you'll be able to, put mechanisms in place to ensure its security.
So what are the steps
To check what? That's what we are doing now. First off, okay, let me give us a little recap. First off, what we are doing is setting up the hacking environment or a testing environment, which is the virtual environment we created. And we've been able to introduce different operating systems. Next, we want to confirm, are these operating systems communicating with each other? If yes, they can communicate. Let's assume we have 50 of them. Then what can you bring in to monitor your network? That's why you can bring in network monitoring tools to monitor the systems that are on the network. Then that's why you can let you are now moving to how you can secure your network. That's why you can now bring in your firewall configuration. What is permitted to enter your network or what is permitted to leave your network. That's why you can begin to set up your firewall at the network level. But these are more advanced. That's why we are also starting from the basics of even first off, let's get to know how our network communicates. If you understand how these two systems communicate with each other, the same way the whole pieces in Base University, the same way they are communicating with each other. Why? They are all on the same network at the basic level. Then as you progress, you now realize there is what we call subnets. You now begin to subnet. Then you put all the systems in this building under one subnet. You put all the systems in the next building in another subnet. But of course, it's stage by stage. We're not getting there yet. At the basic level, what we have to know now, or what we are focused on right now, is that all systems are on same network, locally connected. When we get to wireless, we talk about wireless connectivity and how to secure wireless environment. But for now, it's local environment. Any questions?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. One after the other, please.
Can this kind of connection work for you?
Yes, if you connect to this guy, then if you connect to the network wirelessly, we can ping your mobile phone. Take for example, I have Kali Linux on my phone installed here, meaning everything I can do with my PC, a good percentage of them I can also do on my mobile. E.g., I can ping your system to know whether it's live or not. I can scan for open ports to your PC right from my mobile phone. iPhone. No, not iPhone. This is Android phone. In fact, let me publicize them a bit. This is Infinix phone. It doesn't matter the make of the phone. The major thing is, can you install an Android? Can you install Kali Linux on your Android phone? Yes, you can. Can you install Kali Linux on your iPhone? Yes, you can. There are mobile versions for it. So with this, you can think on the go. If you are all on the same network, from my phone, meaning if I get the organization, from my phone I can start scanning and checking for the total number of live hosts on your network from my phone.
How?
That's what I just explained, because I have Kali Linux here, and I have tools that can do network scanning, operating system discovery, or fingerprinting. It may not be advanced enough to do fingerprinting. Fingerprinting checks for what kind of operating system is running on the network. So it's not just telling me, for example, we are 50 in this room. It's not just telling me that we have 50 active persons on the network. It's going to tell me, out of these 50 persons on the network, these are their IP addresses. On this IP address, it is Windows 7 that is installed there. On this IP address, it is Windows 11. On this IP address, it is Ubuntu. It's not just going to stop there. It's going to tell me on this Windows 11, because XYZ is open. On this Windows 11, it's open for running this service or that service. This is what we call operating system fingerprinting. So when you get to the network, you'll be able to identify live nodes on the network, which is the regular PCs. You'll be able to identify the services that are running on each operating system. You'll be able to identify the operating system on each of those nodes that are live on the network. And you can even plug your network diagram.
Are you talking about what is happening on those systems?
Very good question. That is where you now begin to do exploitation. If I know that you have a Windows operating system running on your phone or your PC, I've been able to identify that, right? I've done my operating system fingerprinting. The next thing I'll do is, what vulnerabilities is the operating system prone to? Which port is open by virtue of the service you are running? I can then use that information to launch a specific direct attack on that particular PC. And it might be successful, depending on the defenses he has on the operating system. Are we together? Yes. But as of now, we've not gotten to that stage because that is a lot higher stage. What we are focusing on now is how many PCs are on the network. Are they even communicating with each other? Yes, currently. That's what we've done today. We have 15 PCs on the network, they can communicate with each other. All we've done here now, if every one of us connect to this network, we can ping ourselves. That is the level we want to do today. And have we achieved that today? Yes, because all the pieces can ping each other. My VM here can ping his can ping mine. Are we together? So in your own environment, take home assignment or task. You can go and ensure that your various VMs are pinging themselves. By simply you put in the ping, then followed by the IP address of the PC. I can ping from my VM to my physical host. You know how to find the IP address of your host, of your operating system? In Windows, in your command line, in your command prompt, Linux, you use ifconfig in your terminal. There's no command prompt in Linux. It's terminal you have there. So you use your ifconfig to search for your IP address. Any questions? Any questions? Yes, sir.
When you campaign,
There are places you can ping me. There are places I can ping you, but you can't ping me. And that is by virtue of the configuration I have on my PC. I can be on the same network with you, but I don't want my network, I don't want my system to be visible on the network. So if you are able to do your scan in such cases, that PC, because of that configuration on the individual PC, you will not respond to pings. Yes, sir.
Right now, can you
yes, I can. He's asking one house, he's asking one house please. He's asking that from my PC, will I be able to find out how many PCs on the network? The answer is yes. All you simply need to do is what we call, in electrical hacking, there are 5 phases. We have the recognizer space, we have the scanning, we have gaining access, maintaining access, and clearing your logs. So what you're asking is in phase 2, which is scanning. All I simply do is use Nmap to scan my network. You can scan from different things. So the first thing I will be scanning for lightnings on the network. If I run that, all the devices connected, I'll be able to read them once they are responding to pings. And there are different types of scan you can run. So if you get an organization from one room, from wherever you are connected, in as much as you're on that network, and you do your scan, it will tell you all the devices that are connected to that network, and you will see them on your screen. It will tell you their IP addresses, it will tell you the name of the device. If it's a HP device, if it's a Dell device, it will name it for you. It will tell you if it's a server, or a Windows, or a mobile, or a tablet. It will tell you the operating system running on it. It will give you the name, your name, what's your name? It will give me, this is Andrew's PC. If you name your PC with Andrew, it will name it for me. And from my PC, I can have access to all of this information. We are here with Google. With Google here. Google is not here. So you can ping anybody once in that communication channel. Yes, sir.
I have a real life.
One house.
My previous work, so sometimes you would keep people off the network.
Yes.
So I'm wondering if that was this was using because sometimes you just realize that you can't connect anymore. Or you're connected and there's no internet.
Yes, it's possible. That is dependent on the network controls you have in place. For example, this router we have here, even your MiFi, it has a dashboard where you put in an admin username and a password. So if you are connected, if you log into that place, you will see all the users connected to your PC or to that network. And in some cases, you will be able to see the name of their PC. So if you feel someone is misusing resources, there's what we call resource misuse, or someone is violating the stated policy. Let's assume some of us, if you connect to my network, you start downloading. All the movies they got downloaded, you start downloading. Are we together? Some persons, the updates that they've been skipping because they don't want to buy anything. Now they will not ask. Update all. Now, in some cases, that is not even the challenge. For example, if you have an unlimited network, or unlimited internet connectivity, you won't bother about that. But the challenge is you're misusing the system resource, right? That's not what's supposed to be used for, and you're using it for it. And a lot of times, some persons will even use IDM, Internet Download Manager, or some automated download managers, thereby depriving other legitimate users access to what they're supposed to have access to. Do you understand? So, yes. Depending on the configuration and the monitoring tool you have in place, depending on who is doing high download and upload. And once you identify them, you can knock them off. So legitimately, it's controlling usage for everybody. But of course, to whom much is given, much is expected. Sometimes the month of flex is most you are
So I say what to stop it.
I'm connected to my own router. The same station, the same for the station, same station. So it's on my
Yes, nobody is talking to them. Like
one house. Our online participants are complaining. So let's attend to them. Okay, please. Let's take questions. One house. Let's take questions from online participants. Is it still live? Okay, so online participants, someone is saying that we should do a podcast video of this class process so that we can go through it and comprehend it from start to finish. Some persons lost out on the way. That will involve time. But what I'll do, I'll try and do that. I'll try and create time for it. We are telling to you, sorry ma'am, the live class can be downloaded for practice after, yes, of course. For those of us online, you can actually download some of the class. I think we've dealt more with this physically present today, actually. So what I will do, I'll create time. Are we together? I'll create time and I'll do an online session. And go through all we've done. So before we do that, I'll avail resources for you to download. Just same resources. So that anything you don't understand, I'll try and break it down again for you to understand. I'll try and break it down again for us to understand. Yes. So for the online participants, I'll create time, I'll notify admin, then they will schedule it and post on your group. I think you have a communication channel, right? So there will be, maybe we'll do a little publicity so that everybody can create a time to join. Then we'll go through the entire session once again. Hope that works. All right, so any question before we round up for today? Have we learned anything new today?
Yes, sir.